Chapter 130. Jesus and the 3 disciples returned to Caesarea Philippi. The 9 had failed to cure an epileptic child. Jesus heals it and rebukes his disciples for their lack of trust in God. The Christians returned to Capernaum. When Jesus, Peter, James, and John were come unto the city's gates, a multitude of people thronged the way. The 9 apostles who went not with Jesus to the mount had tried to heal an epileptic child who was obsessed, and they had failed. The people waited for the coming of the Lord. When Jesus came, the father of the child knelt down before him and implored his help. He said, "My master, I beseech that you will look in pity on my son, my only child. He is an epileptic child and suffers grievously. Sometimes he falls into the fire and is burned. Again he falls into the water and is like to drown. And many times a day he falls. He grinds his teeth, the foam pours from his mouth. I took my child to your disciples, and they failed to give relief." And as he spoke, a servant brought the child before the Lord. The child spoke not, for he was dumb. And instantly he fell upon the ground. He foamed. He writhed in agony. And Jesus said, "How long has he been troubled thus?" The father said, "From infancy. And we have sought in many lands for help, but found it not. But I believe that you can speak the word and heal my son." And Jesus said, "Faith is the power of God. All things are possible for him who in his heart believes." The father cried in tears, "Lord, I believe. Help thou mine unbelief." And Jesus spoke the word of power. The epileptic child lay in a swoon. He did not breathe, and all the people said, "The child is dead." But Jesus took him by the hand and said, "Arise." And he arose and spoke. The people were amazed, and many said, "This surely is a man of God, for no such power was ever given to man." Then Jesus and the 12 went to the house, and after they had taken food and been refreshed, the 9 disciples said, "Lord, why could we not heal this child? We spoke the word, but even that was powerless." And Jesus said, "Your great success in all your former work has made you careless, and you forgot to recognize the power of God. Without the spirit of the word is like an idle tale, and you forgot to pray. There is no faith without the prayer of faith. Faith is the wings of prayer, but wings alone fly not. By prayer and faith you can bring down the mountain peaks and cast them in the sea. The little hills will skip about like lambs at your command. This failure may be well for you. The greatest lessons that are learned in life come through the failures that are made. As the disciples sat in thoughtful meditation, Jesus said, "Let these words sink into your hearts. The time has nearly come when you must bear your load alone, that is, without my presence in the flesh. For I will fall into the hands of wicked men, and they will slay me on a mount beyond Bezekah wall. And men will lay my body in a tomb where, by the sacred word, it will be guarded and preserved 3 days. Then I will rise again." The 12 were sad. They did not understand, and yet they feared to ask him to reveal the meaning of his word. Next day, the Christine master and the 12 began their journey of return, and soon were in Capernaum.